Hey guys, so you might be wondering why would you use Nuxt 3 to build your web application or your website? Well, here are three things, right? One, Nuxt is a framework, as you can see here. So a framework gives you code that's already built in. It gives you certain abilities that you don't have to build your web application from scratch. Nowadays people use frameworks to build web apps or websites because it's just faster. Nobody codes anything from scratch. So a framework gives you a lot of things going for you. So for example, let's take a look at this Nuxt app here, for example, right? You're going to get pages. Well, you have the ability to create pages, and then you can create your pages simply like that. And also it arranges it. You have folders which you can use for certain things. So let's say you have layouts, right? And the layout is like it's a file that you can have that has your links and your links to your CSS and all that. So just pretty much a framework helps you build your website or your web application faster. So Nuxt is it says here they're a hybrid view framework. Build your next application with Vue 3 and experience hybrid rendering, powerful data fetching, and new features. So for example, in Nuxt, it's quite easy to grab data from an API because all that is already built in for you. You don't have to build that from scratch. Yes, it's simple and it's powerful. Now, Nuxt is a framework that's built on Vue, right? So what is Vue? Well, Vue is another framework. So the Nuxt framework is built on the Vue framework. And what is Vue? Vue is a framework built on JavaScript that helps us build web user interfaces. So it helps us build what you see here, right? So I have a few um, Nux apps that I've built, right? Like this one here, which has starter kits and apps, and this is our church site. And all these are Nux apps. So Vue helps us build this. But what Nux does add is a back end that allows you to do even more things. So the one reason that you want to use Nux is because it's a framework, and frameworks helps you get building your app faster. The next thing is that we use components when we build our app. So for example, let's look at this app that I built, right? This is nuxapps.com, and this is designed to help you um, st- avoid starting building your Nux app from scratch because that's usually the hardest. So you get examples here and apps that are already built in for you, built for you. So here we have two apps, but I plan to add more. So what are components? Well, a component is a part of a larger whole. So when you look at this web application, all these are components. And the way you can see that is in your dev tools in Chrome. Wait, oh, we are on the production side, so that won't work. Let's go to the dev side. Okay, there you go. So if you look here, right, this whole thing here, this is my Nuxt app right there. But this Nuxt app is broken up into components. Anonymous component transition, base transition, default, that's the layout, Nuxt page, router view, these index, main, and then the main body, top navigation. Do you see how that becomes green? That's one component. Page header, that's another component. Starter apps, that is a component too. And these parts here are component. So what makes components really useful? Well, one is that you don't have to repeat writing the same code over and over again. For example, this one app component, its entire job is to display an app, right? So this app here is a Nuxt 3 barebones app, which means you can download. this app, right? And you don't have to start building your app from scratch. You already have Nuxt 3. This is release candidate 9 because Nuxt 3 is not like officially out yet. You don't have all these here, but it helps you get started right away. This one app here has Nuxt 3 and has Tailwind. So rather than me having to write this over and over again, all I did was create a component like that, and I passed in, see what these are? All these are props, and then the view div to show you that. Right? See, actually, I'm gonna just take a look at this. So here's the one app, and all these are props. So title, description, download link, image URL, all these are props or properties that are part of the one app. And when I pass these properties in, for example, from here, right? So here's the one app. I pass these properties in, and they would go into the one app, and then this would show up here. So I don't need to repeat this over and over again. And this is one of the reasons why components help you build your web app and your web application and your website a lot faster. It might take a while to build the component from scratch, but once you've built it, I can repeat this over and over again. So let's take a look at this, right? So I have the one app here, and let's say I just wanted to repeat that. I could just do that, and boom, there it is, right? And all I need to do is just change this. So let's say this is an app, but let's see here. So I say here it has Nuxt 3, and let's just say it has a layout as well, and it has a template. And I take these off here, right? This is all I need to do. And it shows up right there. Look at that. Beautiful. So I don't need to go, but if you look at this one app, if you look at the app itself, it's kind of maybe a little bit complex. There's quite a bit of HTML here and loops. But because I have one component, I don't have to keep repeating myself. So I'm just gonna delete that because I don't really need that right now. So the first reason was that it's a framework. The second reason is that you have components. The third reason is reactivity. So the Vue framework helps make things reactive. So for example, one of the biggest issues with web development is that whenever you're going from page to page, for example, if I was just, whenever you're going from page to page, is that you have to keep reloading that page. Well, that takes time. So what Vue helps us is that we don't have to keep reloading the page. Look at this for example. This is our church site here. Notice how fast this is, right? So I'm on the home page here. If I go to the beliefs section, it's right there. But that's a whole different page. If I go to ministries, it's right there. All right. And even if I go to sermons, as you can tell here, we have over 600 sermons here, right? And we have different pages. But if I jump to a page, is that working? There we go. Okay, that's working. See? See how quick that is? And that's because we load all these here are components, and we load them in, and we don't have to keep reloading the page. So you don't see the page. Do you see here? You don't see the page loading. All these are loaded in for you. So it makes your web application or your website so much faster. That's one of the reasons why you should use Nuxt 3. All right. So hey, down below at the of this video, you're gonna find the fastest way to build your Nuxt app. I'm telling you, this is one of the fastest, maybe the fastest way to build your Nuxt app. You will save yourself frustrations. You will save yourself writing poor code. It will help you learn Nuxt faster. That's my belief. And it will help you get there faster. All right, so you have it. Why use Nuxt 3? I'll see you soon.